Jessica, I know you're from Canada, Bishop, but Jessica says, how might we, those in America, prepare as a church or as individuals for the potential terrorism that comes as a result from the overturning of Roe?
Wow, it's a great question, and it's a difficult question. I think that we have to. I think there's a certain amount of spin that the media is going to do that there's nothing we can do to prevent. Okay, I just think that's the reality. But being misunderstood, being mislabeled, being misjudged is part of the walk of the Christian. We follow the master who was misjudged, who was misrepresented, who was lied about. I think that we have to avoid the danger of getting mean-spirited, angry, and using the world's own weapons to fight the world. I think we have to fight with the spiritual weapons of light, which is forgiveness and mercy and kindness and goodness and love. Does that mean we just roll over? No. We make a defense, as Peter says. We make a defense, but we do it with kindness, with gentleness, and with the object to win hearts, not arguments. You can win an argument and lose a soul. We need to be the people who are loving the victims of abortion. We need to be the people who are loving even our enemies who are promoting this. Because you know what? Ultimately, they're not my enemy. They're blinded. They're blinded. There's another enemy behind them. And Jesus died for them. And I need to love them. If I can't have Jesus if I hate the people he died for. If there's that hatred in my heart. So let's use the means and the message of the gospel. Speak with clarity. Speak with firmness, but speak with kindness, with gentleness, and let your life witness to the love of God, which is bigger than all of this.
And please God, the Lord will grant there to be martyrs in this country. Shouldn't this be something for which we rejoice?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't think you go looking for martyrdom. I think Thomas More shows us, he did everything he could to avoid it. But if it comes to that, then I'm willing.
And I really, the only way I would ever be willing is if the Lord did it in me, because I'm a coward, I tell you that. I don't even like getting needles.
Right.
But it's hard to think that that's very hyperbolic. It seems to me that I had Dr. Jennifer Roback Morris on the show recently, and she referred to those who are pushing this sexual revolution agenda as a sort of Gnostic death cult at war with reality and with the body. It seems to me that this is the most cherished sacrament of the Gnostic death cult, and it's interesting that as their most, if you agree with that, or if you don't have to tell me if you do, but if that's one way of looking at it, if we begin to tinker with their most cherished of sacraments, then it makes sense to me why there's been a lot of attacks on the Blessed Eucharist, our most cherished. But again, I love what you said there. The enemy is not Nancy Pelosi. The enemy is not Joe Biden. These are our brothers and sisters who we should pray and fast for. And remember who our true enemy is. Maybe that's part of the problem of forgetting about spiritual warfare, is you mistake who your enemy is.
Well, that's it. And I think that if we really do see with spiritual eyes, we're going to recognize that ultimately what we're dealing with deep down is a demonic hatred of Christ. And we have to see the people involved in these movements as victims. They're deceived. There is what is St. Paul's term? A blindness which has come upon them. There's a darkness there, and we have to pray and fast them out of this, and love them out of this. Look, it could have been me. It could have been you. And if we don't start with a fundamental preposition that but for the grace of God I am lost, if I don't really understand that I'm a brand pulled from the burning, then I am so filled with pride that there's nothing I can do. It could be me. How can I withhold from someone who is alienated from God the love that I received when I was alienated from God?
Amen.
John of the Cross, right? You love God to the extent that you love, the most hateful person in your life. And no more. And don't kid yourself. So that's a hard call. That's a hard call. That's a martyrdom in itself. And do I do it perfectly? Oh, no. No, not at all. But I think it's what Jesus asks of us. And I think we need to step up.
Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe and leave a comment below letting us know what you thought about the video.